All right. What's going on, everybody? Happy Tuesday. Once again, it's your Jersey boy, your best host of this crazy area, and the one who's always fired up. And I'm excited tonight. We have a powerful training. So I want you, all of you that could, and you turn on your cameras. I want to admire your beautiful smile. And if you please, as you hop on, turn off your mics off, because tonight we have a very, very special night. I want you to disconnect from whatever's happening out there, whatever distractions, turn off those news, turn off the TV, turn off TikTok, and focus on here tonight because we have a powerful training that I'm sure you're going to want to come back to this. But hey, this is another episode of Awakening USA, Awakening America. This is the generation of awakening, but it has nothing to do with whatever is out there. So beyond all distractions, beyond whatever you hate or like or political out there, let it go, because tonight is about your future, where you're at. How do you know if you're in the right company with the right people at the right time? How do you know if it's going to pay your future? Well, tonight we have nonetheless one of the most valuable resources in our company, in this industry. It's a man who I admire so much because not only he's a legend, but he chose to be with us. He's been in the industry for about 40 years, probably, but out of thousands of companies, he chose to be here. So he's going to be breaking it down tonight. Why for life? What makes this one of a kind? Why you are in you're going to find out if you're in the right company in this time, if this company is for you, and why this is a very powerful way to build a longevity and lifetime income. So please help me welcome all the way from San Diego, California, the man, the myth, the legend, eight-figure earner, Mr. Dave Daughtrey. What's going on, brother? How you feeling, man?
Thanks, Omar. I appreciate the energy, the accolades. I love the enthusiasm and the energy that you basically project to all of us, and that's what this business is also about. It's not always just what you say, but how you say it, so that's a skill that all of us need to consistently work on. But yeah, today we're talking about why for life, but I'm going to kind of deviate from that a little bit. And kind of it may seem like I'm bouncing around here, and I'm going to do some storytelling. I feel it's important, if you're serious about this business, well, it's important to understand our industry and to kind of know what's going on out there, because this world is moving fast. Things change fast. And just in the last 90 days, there's 5 companies in our industry that have basically either declared bankruptcy or are preparing to declare bankruptcy, have shut down markets. And I feel that, it may open up doors for us. I mean, I've signed up some people from Jeunesse, in Brazil, because they closed Brazil over the last 90 days. So wonderful for me. I got some network marketers that have just joined the team because they're looking for a home. But for the overall industry, it's not good. Because now you're going to come across people that say, yeah, I was in such and such company, those things don't work. Well, understand something. The business model of network marketing is awesome. It's amazing. All the benefits with no risk, but you've got to be with the right company. You've got to be with a company that has the principles, values, experience, to create a legacy company. And there's a few legacy companies out there. Many of you have heard of Amway and Herbalife, Forever Living. They've been around a long time, and I'll be mentioning Herbalife again in a little bit here in my storytelling, because an update just came out recently within our industry. But I try to stay on top of what's going on, just simply because it's just important, because I've been doing this, as Omar said, it's been 42 years now. 1981, I got started learning this, and it took me 18 years to finally find a home for life. And so some of my networkers, like Jeff Out Gilbers, for example, we'll talk. And that's basically when we talk now, I mean, Jeff's made, tens and tens and tens of millions of dollars in For Life. So have I. All right. And a number of us have. And so when we talk now, it's different today. It's like, what's going on with that company and that company? And this company has an $800 million debt and they just declared bankruptcy. And the reason we do that is because we want to make sure our positioning in this industry is up on top. And we are. So when I talk to people about For Life, I talk a bit differently in my presentation than I do with a lot of my top leaders about For Life in the industry. But also I have my own deep, deep personal feelings. And that comes out of my testimony when I share my testimony with people, like I did today with some people in Brazil. And the funny thing is, the things that I share, they were talking about. Why were they talking about some of these things? They were talking about in depth, which I'll talk about in a minute here, because they've been in the industry over 10 years. They've seen what goes on. They love networking, but they also have been burnt, in the industry, or had maybe a bad experience. So again, why For Life is different for all of us, you guys. Every one of you has your reason to why you joined For Life. But when you're presenting to people, you want to just tell them some of the basics, and it may not seem that important to them. Things like debt-free company, that's extremely important in today's environment because of the crisis going on around the world, economic crisis. And why these other companies have declared bankruptcy and closed markets is because they're over leveraged. They got so much debt going on, they can't pay their bills. So they just got to shut down markets and declare bankruptcy, or just shut the door, close. And then people get burnt. So debt-free company, that's really important. What about multinational? This is my conversation today with someone in Brazil. For Life is positioned in many countries out there. And even though they may not have like an office in the UK, well, the Spain office takes care of the United Kingdom and that region. You got an office in Germany that takes care of a region. You got Italy that takes care of a region. So For Life has offices all throughout Asia, South America, New Zealand, just all over the world. So multinational, start in your backyard and you have a multinational business. And I would encourage you, and I probably should do this for the training, I apologize. These are bullet points. Write down these bullet points, memorize them when you're talking to people. Multinational, debt-free. We were the 15th fastest growing company years ago, but that's a pretty good accolade, in America. Number one, and the only company, by the way, that's ever been above 15. Anybody know what company that might have been? It was back in 1980 or 81. Herbalife. Yeah, they were a long time ago. All right. So, being the 15th fastest growing company, what about this is another thing that's important. And this is what carried us through COVID, by the way. We manufacture our own products. We don't depend on third parties. David Lisenby does not like other people controlling his destiny. He doesn't like people making decisions that can affect him and us. So when you outsource things to third parties, well, you're dependent upon that third party. There was a time when For Life started, when I joined For Life, they outsourced everything. Encapsulation was outsourced. They didn't have any encapsulation machines. I remember when David Lisenby bought the first encapsulation machine. In fact, I don't know if you guys can see, there's some gold bottles. You see those, excuse the paperwork, tax time, but you see those gold bottles on the shelf there I've got, where the same shelf that the baseballs are? Those gold bottles were sent to me because the first bottles encapsulated from our own machine, you see? So these things are so important in business to bring things in-house under your own roof and have control. We now manufacture everything. We encapsulate, we do the liquids, we do the powders. Very, very, very few things are outsourced, even to the point of the cell phone application. You guys might remember For Life Connect. It wasn't that long ago, the Connect app. Well, that was outsourced. Well, the company didn't want to do that ultimately. So they wrote their own code. They wrote the software for this app, the For Life app, is developed by For Life. So what a great app. So the point I'm trying to make is most people don't think about these things in the beginning because it's like, I just want to make money. I want to join the company. I'm excited. Let's go make money. Well, that's wonderful. But you also want to do like Stephen Covey says, begin with the end in mind. Think down the road. Where do you see yourself in 5 years, 10 years, 20 years? You don't want to be looking for another company after 10 years or 20, like in my case, 25 years. Heaven forbid. I'm going to be 63 years old in 4 days. So happy birthday to me.
Oh, wow.
But do you think I want to be looking for another home at my age now after 25 years of for life? No. I mean, I've been spoiled now. Having made over $30 million, living the lifestyle I live and enjoy, being with my buddy right here, Odin, during the day while he's just kicking back, So, so these things are why for life to me goes really deep. Okay. But when I present to people again, I present like, multinational, debt-free company. We manufacture our own products, 4 pillars: science, success, service, and now satisfaction. I mentioned the science. We're a research company, so we're constantly innovating, researching, creating, and then substantiating and validating through third parties. That's why you can go to forlife.com, click on science, well, click on about for life, then science, scroll down, and there's a whole section right there with clinical studies, peer review studies on transfer factor, gold factor, burn, collagen, so, and these studies aren't cheap. They cost money to do.
So I was just gonna say something, Dave, real quick. Sorry to cut you, because
Yep.
that's important to mention. One, the studies are not cheap. The other thing is, being in other countries, they have to adapt to the country's laws. They have different
Right.
laws, so they have to also pay to be able to be, flying at least close to the radar and be accepted. And the other thing about the app, we have an IT team that these people are young entrepreneurs, young-minded. They know what's up to date and they're working hard. So I just want to put that out there because in
No,
case
very true. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, our IT director, Andy Weeks, is a genius. I mean, he was a catch, a big time catch for life to get Andy Weeks. So, but all these people that come together and make For Life what it is, we see it on the surface, but all the interworkings inside, we don't really know because we're not there involved. I mean, I am a bit because I've been on the advisory board of For Life, and I know these people. I've grown up with a lot of them over 25 years. But when you're presenting to someone, all right, you should be able to present these bullets about For Life within a 5-minute period and just hit them, real quick and hit them hard, and you'll come back to them down the road as you're working with your people. You might have someone you sponsor and they're bringing some people to the table and you're doing presenting with them and, presenting the plan, and you tell them about why For Life. Well, once people really get in and they start building and working hard and they realize it's work, it's sacrifice of time and energy, not money really, because it's just your qualification every month to qualify. You're not investing thousands of dollars in product every month like other companies. You have to do that, all right, to qualify. So, but when you're presenting and talking about, For Life, you should be able to run through these bullets pretty quick. So again, but why For Life? I want to get in a little bit deeper. Like I said, I'm going to bounce around a little bit here. With me, here's my why. And I'll be curious to hear some of your whys. We'll open it up in a little bit here. And I'll be curious to hear why you're with For Life. Any of you, feel free. We're having an open discussion tonight. But with me, you see, I had 18 years of experience in network marketing before For Life. I'd seen the good, the bad, and the ugly. I've been on top, been on bottom. The view is always better on top. So when For Life came in my life, I was broke. I was sick. In fact, I had a joke. I would tell people, I'm so broke, I can't pay attention right now. It was bad. It was really bad. No car, no vehicle, didn't have a cell phone. Why was that? Well, I went through a financial crisis and I went through a divorce at the same time, lost everything. Gave up only one car I had, gave it to my ex. And I slept on the floor in a futon in a little apartment in a ghetto part of El Centro, California, a bad area. So bad that my neighbors were arrested for selling cocaine like the first week I was there. So things were rough when I started. And I knew I was on at the bottom. I would never tell anyone I'm poor. Poor is a state of mind. I was broke. Broke is a matter of time. Just rebuild. And so when For Life knocked on my door, and that literally happened, For Life knocked on my door, I received a letter from Dr. Calvin McCausland. He was the first chief scientific officer for For Life. He was inviting me, and I had met him in 1993. And he sent me a letter and a bottle of transfer factor to look at it, try it. And I read the letter. I respect the man highly for his accomplishments in his life, with product formulations. He developed some of Nu Skin's top products, Unicity's top products. So the man's an incredible developer. But he said, this is unique. Transfer factor is very unique. I looked at it, and these are the exact words I told my wife, Gabby. I don't care if this product cures 100% of every disease out there. The most important thing to me right now is who's running this company. Who's the captain? Who makes the decisions? If this plane is going to fly and is going to keep going around the world, you got to have a good pilot. Because I was with companies before that didn't have good pilots. Company went down because of decisions made by people, the powers that be that control everything, affect the lives of everybody else in the end, in the company. And that's why things failed for me before. People failed me, not network marketing. That's like saying that the institution of marriage fails everybody because there's such thing as a divorce. No, it doesn't. If you're with the right person, the right partner, then you've got a wonderful marriage. Same thing in business. If you're with the right partner, you've got a wonderful opportunity. Same thing applies. So for me, what was important? Why For Life? Well, I had to go look in the eyes of the founder of the company. Now, back in 1998, it was simple. All right. In fact, he was wanting to talk to me. And I went to Utah. And as soon as I walked in the door and met David Lisenby, I'll never forget, he says, "We're so glad you're here." And I'm like, okay, well, I mean, we really don't know each other, so let's get to know each other a little bit. And we spent the afternoon, went and had lunch, and we talked. And I had two really simple questions, serious but simple questions. One, what's your exit strategy? In other words, we know For Life's going to be successful. You wouldn't be starting this company if you weren't planning on being successful. So we're going to assume you're going to build a successful company. What's your exit strategy? Every entrepreneur, every smart entrepreneur that starts a business thinks ahead. What's the plan? Well, I just said, are you going to sell the company? Number one, is that an exit strategy? Sell the company? He said, no. Okay, good. Because I knew that David Lisenby had been caught in a crossfire of a company being sold before. And it affected a lot of people. And he didn't like that, which to me was important. He wants to build a legacy company. That word didn't come out till after I asked the next question. Next question, I said, as we were talking, it was, are you going to take this company public? I know that network marketing companies do not fare well in the public domain. All right. I'll tell you a story in just a minute about that. Two stories, actually. Because you give up control. You give up all the control to the shareholders. And now you're like the wind blowing around out there, hoping that the company, the founder gets rich when they go public. All right. Well, you give up all the control. So then you're not wanting to build a legacy company. You're kind of selling it out. She said, no. Now I know David Lisenby pretty well now, after 25 years, and I can see he's a man of control. He likes control. In other words, he will not give For Life the control of the company to someone else. Nobody. All right. And that's important because there's a culture that we've developed of together building people, science, success, service. It's about the people. And that's what's extremely important for longevity. All right. Those are my two questions. Now, let me share with you companies that have gone public, what happened to them. Mary Kay. You heard of Mary Kay? I would encourage you, watch the Mary Kay story, you guys. So I should see it on YouTube. All right. Mary Kay went public, I think it was 1976. Why'd she do it? Well, her main reason was to generate capital to go to get into Asia, China, and other markets. She wanted to raise capital. And she did. She raised a lot of capital, went public. Well, guess what happened a decade later? The vote of directors voted to remove the pink car. No more pink car. They thought it was silly. Well, that's Mary Kay's brand. I mean, I remember seeing pink cars, and sometimes I still see them. Y'all remember pink cars? All right. So that everybody knew Mary Kay from that. Well, guess what she did when the board of directors had voted to remove the pink car? She bought back all of the stock, all of it, to bring the company private again and save the pink car. And she did. And my gosh, was she a hero for doing that, right? So another one real quick. Y'all heard of Herbalife? Well, I don't know if you guys know this, but Herbalife was about destroyed less than a decade ago. A multi-billion dollar company by one man, Bill Ackman. The man shorted all the Herbalife stock. All right. You know what, I don't know if you guys know what short means in the stock market. It means you're basically betting that the stock's going to go down. You're betting, you're wanting the company to fail so you can get rich. That's really how it works. Okay. So in other words, you sell the stock before you literally buy it, but it's called shorting the stock. He shorted it $1 billion, 1 billion. And then guess what he did? Contacted the FTC, Federal Trade Commission, and started filing complaints about Herbalife being a pyramid scheme. Well, guess what that did? Triggered an investigation. It was on the news. Herbalife's under investigation for being a pyramid scheme. Well, guess what happened to the stock? Down. Bill Ackman's getting rich off of the suffering of other people, off of the demise, the other people losing. He's going to get rich by taking down a company. How sad is that? How twisted is that? Well, in comes the hero, Carl Icahn. I don't know if you guys know Carl Icahn, multi-billionaire, activist. He went in and bought 5 seats on the board of directors at Herbalife. 5 seats. Guess what that cost him? $6 billion. He paid to get on, to have control of Herbalife. People caught wind and heard about it. Guess what? Stock starts going up, 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 up. Sells up, 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 up. Well, Bill Ackman lost over $1 billion. Carl Icahn, I think he doubled his money, made $6 billion. The point is this, though. Herbalife is buying back, or I think they've already bought it all back now. They're private again. Don't want to be public. You see? So again, to me, why for life is pretty darn deep, because these things that we don't really see the interworkings, they're so important for all of us. If you're going to depend for your future and your family's future, your kids, and you want to really build a big business and make millions of dollars, you can make millions of dollars. Anybody can. But you have to do something to do it. You have to continuously sharpen your tools. And the number one tool, and this is my theme through the whole month of April, tools, talking about tools. Guess what the most important tool in your toolbox is? If you were a carpenter, let's say we're all carpenters. Every one of us were carpenters. You're all given the same tools: electric saws, hammers, nails, pliers, screwdrivers, a number of electric tools, let's say, electric staple guns. Do you think that if we all built a house, every one of our houses would be the same? No, of course not. They'd all be different. And it would be dependent upon who knows how to use the tools the best. So in the end, really, what's the most important tool? Omar, what's the most important tool?
The most important tool? It's a really good question. I would say in my hands, it's me.
You.
The story, the way we go, we are.
You're the most important tool. All right. Marissa, Evelise, Maddie, Claudia, Anna, Esther, Leon, all of you, Elda, Lucy, Laura, Sonia, Celadina. I should have my glasses on, I apologize. But you guys are the most important tool. We all have the same app. Does anybody have a different app? No. We all have the same products, right? Nobody has any different. We have the same tools For Life provides us. But the most important tool is you. People buy you first. You see, they buy your friendship, your trust. If they trust you, they'll do business with you. All right. If they like you, they'll probably buy something from you. But you win their trust, you can win their business. So the point is this: you continuously want to be sharpening your skills. Now, I had just Saturday morning, I had an experience, went downstairs to my kitchen. And this is what made me think of this, by the way. I told Claudia on Saturday, Claudia, we're talking about tools this month, sharpening the skills. All right. Because Saturday morning, I went down to my kitchen and there was this tool sitting on the counter. I picked it up and looked at it and I thought, what is this? Thought about it for a minute. It had two slits, one going this way, one going that way, two slits in it. And I thought, aha, it's a knife sharpener. Sharpen the knife. And I thought, that's what we need to be doing regularly. I'm always into analogies, you know. We need to continuously be sharpening ourselves, our skills, social skills, people skills. Look, approaching a stranger just to say hi and start a friendship. Go back in your lifetime, you guys, and look at all the relationships you developed, the people that you know have had in your life. Where'd they come from? You met them somewhere, somehow, under some circumstance. Well, all you want to do in this business is accelerate that process, which means to get out there, to be social, to meet people, develop new friendships, new relationships. All right. You know, I'm not a believer in beating people over the head with this business. You know, I tell them, I'm a baseball player, as you can tell the baseball is behind me there. 3 strikes and you're out. In other words, I'm not going to continuously beat you up over for life, but I will continue building my business and lead by example. And then what I found is that if people don't come knocking on your door, all right, they're not like banging the door down and saying, I want to jump in for life. I still have to go out and prospect, go out and present the plan, talk to people, why for life. But as you build your business and you start moving up, all right, you start moving up, you know, from a builder to diamond and presidential, all right, as you find other people that want to build, success breeds success. And people do see that, all right, they become observant. Now, think about this. If everybody around you in your lifetime that knows you, that you've associated with and do associate with still, if they believed you were going to become a multimillionaire and they really knew that, do you think they might want to attach themselves to your wagon? Of course they would. So simply because they may not believe it doesn't mean that you should adopt that attitude or that philosophy. You have to believe it. So if you believe it, you're the most important tool in the toolbox. Work on you. You see, if you want to grow your income, grow yourself. And I was told that when I was 22 years old. So I was always working on myself, always working on, you know, communication skills, social skills, leadership skills, identifying skills. How to identify someone, you know, and then, you know, if you identify someone as, you know, the potential they have, the leadership they have, you know, the skills they have, and so on, you embrace that, you edify them, you work with them, you turn them into heroes. The more heroes that you build, guess what happens to you? The more heroic you become, you know, and that's what I love about this business. Success breeds success. So anyhow, work on yourself. That is the most important tool in the toolbox. And again, why for life? I'd like to open it up now and hear from you, why for life? Now, I know that as I've talked about for life, here's what's interesting. My why for life has been solely about what? Business. You didn't hear me talk about this product literally saved me from Crohn's disease. I was suffering from Crohn's disease from 1991 to 98. And it was the classic. This is classic. All right. Transfer factor classic, the first generation. I've not had a flare up of Crohn's disease since October of 1998. I can eat jalapenos if I want. All right. Or Serrano chilies if I want. I don't very often, but I can. The point is, you know, my digestive system is completely healed. I feel great. So I love the products. All right. But to me, the why for life when I joined, really, I mean, I'd always use the product. I'm talking about why did I join for life? It's because I knew in my heart, with or without Dave Daughtrey, this company would be successful. I knew it after meeting David Lisenby, after listening to him, hearing his mission statement, his business plan, his philosophies, how sound they are, his principles, his values, all of that combined. I said I'd be an idiot not to join, considering I was broke. I needed an opportunity. What do I have to lose? Only place to go is up. And so I joined. The rest is history. I think, like, I don't know, 90 something percent of For Life's my organization, so I'm real proud of that. And I can't believe it sometimes. I got over 200 millionaires in my organization now. So with that, I like to open the doors and or open up your Zooms
Mike's.
and your mics, there you go, your mics, and hear from you guys. Why For Life? If somebody would like to share their testimony, and that's important. That's a skill, by the way, too. Sharing a testimony. Nothing more powerful than a third-party testimony when you're presenting. All right. So anybody want to share their why for life with us tonight? Oh, wonderful.
One at a time. Here you go. Matthew.
Maddie, okay, great.
Okay, I'm not sure about what really. I was looking like 2 years before that, 2018, when I met my sponsor at that moment, Brandon. I was looking for a company that can to do something different at home, like to work from home. Also, related to health, because I like it. I'm a beautician, I'm a massage therapist too. And all my life, I have been taking homeopathic medicine. I like all natural stuff. For me, it's very important. But it's something about the video. I remember the way that he talked in that moment on Instagram. I like it. And he told his story very well in that moment. But also the videos of her life. I remember that, like, it was the definition for me. It was like something about intuition. I love it. But after that, 3 months later, I started to take something for my hormonal periods, my problems. And I said I needed, because I heard a doctor in Spanish say something, you have to take that product for that, it will help you. And I said, I will buy it. I started to feel better after that, a few days later, a month. And now my doctor, my gynecologist, it's very personal, but he congratulated me after a year and a half. He was before I had cancer, but I knew that it was a cancer. I knew it. But he said, I have to tell you this, your health's better now. You use everything. Tell me, I think it's your supplements, the natural supplements, the immune system supplements. He called it like that. Tell me more about that. I wanted to introduce him to that. I couldn't in that moment last week. But I told him it's the only thing I take. I'm taking. I have been taking for the last 3 years. And he's impressed, because my tumors or fibroids are reducing. How do you say in English?
Nice.
Yeah. It's getting smaller, and it's like a wow. This is my testimony. Like, really, I will continue doing that because
Nice. That testimony, Maddie, is powerful. Yeah, and so obviously, why For Life to you? You had a personal experience using the product. And as you go out and share that with people, that has an impact on their lives. You actually bring value to people's lives by sharing your experience, all right, and sharing this product. These products don't talk, you guys. In fact, another quick story, and then Evelise, I want to pass it to you. Maddie, thank you very much for that story. When I started working in Puerto Rico in 2000, there was already a group there, Santiago Pizarro and David Fuster. They'd never really done network marketing before. They did traditional marketing. They had signed up before Arminio Nevares did. Well, when Arminio signed up, one of the very first complaints he had, he calls me up and he says, David, there's transfer factor in Fresh Mart. Now, I don't know if you guys have been to Puerto Rico before. Fresh Mart is like 7-Eleven. They're all over the island. Why would transfer factor be on the shelves of Fresh Mart? Well, rather than, the company told them you can't do that. You're not supposed to do that. But here's my point. So what? The products don't talk. They sit on a shelf. again, what do people buy first? They buy you. You have to be the one. So you're like your story, Maddie. If you're out telling your story, that's impactful. All right. That's that. And that's what this is all about, storytelling. The products don't tell stories. They don't talk. We have to be the ones to do it. So Evelise, you have your hand up. So let's pass the mic to you.
Yeah. First of all, I want to say thank you for the opportunity. When you were talking, it's always for me is really I'm really grateful for the work you are doing, for the opportunity you are giving to me to in my group to be in the ambassador group. Thank you so much for that. For me, it was in the beginning, I had the opportunity to try the products because my sister-in-law gave me one as a present because I wasn't feel good. And can you listen to me? It's okay?
Yes. Yep. Keep going.
So I had that opportunity to try the product. It was the product called Women, and it was amazing. I just can't believe it. What happened to me after 1 week, I even said to her, I can't believe this is happening because I wasn't having trouble with my hormone, and it had changed. My skin was getting dry, and I was talking to my doctor, and everything changed in about a week. So since that day, I start using in the Dominican Republic. We used to say we open a beer with another one. So for me, I open a women contain one with the bottle, one with the other. When I order one, it's because the other one is halfway. So it's never gonna be fell in my house. But my big why when I listened to you is when I was writing right away. You were talking and I was writing, and I was like, Evelise, what is your why? And my why is I'm tired to not qualify. In this country, you have to qualify for everything. And every time you go to our office, they check in everything in you to see how much money you made, how is your credit, and everything. And I'm tired to not qualify for things that I want to, that I totally qualified to do it. But in the position, economic position that I am, for them, I don't qualify. And it's so embarrassing to feel like you are less, like you're not supposed to have the opportunity to live in the house that you live because you don't qualify, or bring to the kids the future, the opportunity to have options because your mother don't qualify. And that's, you were talking, I said, Evelise, how long you gonna be in the place you are? And another thing is, I used to listen a lot about Jim Rohn, and he used to say that you had to be more, you had to offer more than you get paid for. And if you want to make the difference, you had to be willing to serve a lot of people. And if you made them for them what they want, if you give it to them what they want, you're gonna get what you want. The most people you serve, the most people you serve, the most your dream is coming true. You don't have to fight or every day for what you want. Just go and find somebody that need your help. And when you help them, don't worry about your need. You recover.
Right.
So in the position I am right now, this is like God sent to me, because I working in the health system, and I can be able to help too many people as a person. I have patients all over, but how many patients I can see in one day and help them? Not too many. And then I'm looking at my window and say, God, I know this is not my place because I like service, but I cannot do too much from here. And when my sister-in-law gave me that, I like marketing. I was born for that. And when she gave me that, I said, this is my opportunity. In my history, you don't know yet, because I am writing my history. You don't know really
Right.
what has happened to me right now and what I'm being through. But Tony Robbins used to say, life don't happen to you, it's happening for you. And I cry every night just to see, does this happening to me? It's because for me, I need to see this had to happen. I had to go out and talk to many people as I can, because I had to tell you what is Ivelisse, what is being happened to me to be in this moment right now. But I'm not ready to share that yet.
Well,
Okay.
Ivelisse, every one
Yeah.
of us, we're all driven by
Yeah.
something. There's a factor, a motivating factor that drives every one of us. It makes us tick. It's what makes us get up in the morning and take action in something. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So you're developing your story. The first part of what you said right now about having to qualify, you're tired of not qualifying. You need to always remember that, when as you're telling your story, as you're building your business, when you're bronze and gold and platinum, always refer back to those times, because that's what's so important. People can relate to that. You see, the same happened to me. My credit score was horrible. I had a foreclosure. I lost a house. I lost my cars. I lost everything I owned. And so all of a sudden, everyone's judging me. I know what it's like. So, but that can drive you. You need to use that emotion to drive you every day towards your goals, your dream. All right. And always share that story with people. Those stories are what people love to hear. This is the success stories. Real quick, and then Claudia, I'll pass it to you, and then Omar, then Manuel will finish. But I was in 4Life. I had no car. I got my first 4Life car. A friend of mine helped me buy it, actually. It was in November of 1998. On Christmas Day, the same year, I was in a car accident. I didn't even have that car for 30 days. And it was a Toyota Corolla, an old Toyota Corolla. It looked like a tomato because it was supposed to be red, but the paint was all opaque, faded from the sun. It sat in the sun so long. And I was hit on the driver's side on Christmas Day in the morning. Well, the whole side of the car was smashed. I had to get out of the passenger side of the little Toyota Corolla. I could drive it still, but I had to get in and out of the passenger side because the door wouldn't open on the driver's side. It was all smashed in. For 6 months, I drove that car like that. Every single place I went was embarrassing. People seeing me climb out of the passenger side was embarrassing. Water leaking in if it rained was embarrassing. I hated it. But you know what? What a motivating factor that was for me. It reminded me every day why I was willing to pay the price, to work hard, and do this business. And so always keep that feeling. Don't lose that feeling, that motivating factor. Claudia, let's pass it to you.
I actually was very moved by Ivelisse's because I could feel her almost crying. So I do see where Dave is going with Ivelisse. Like, we're going to have this recording and you have to go back to that moment when you described it to us. But I do feel that I wanted to share, and I'm just going to keep it in 2 minutes so that we can try and get a couple more people in. And I feel that somebody needs to hear, if you haven't, what happened, because we ran the numbers with my sister. And so the first time that she introduced this business to me was in 2007. She came to Canada and held her first meeting in English, which she spoke no English, by the way, but she read it out of cards. And so she told this story, and it was very emotional for me because a lot of you have seen my sister and the growth she's had in the past few months. So anyway, she says, she literally read it. She said, all I did was read it out of flashcards because I couldn't even really tell the meeting properly. And she planned it. She planned it in a meeting of 10 people. So that was 2007. That's 16 years ago. In 2012, my niece comes, that's her daughter, plants again. I meet Dave, and they were telling me this is a great business, but I had a marriage, a house, brand new Mercedes, everything. And I was like, no, I'm going to be a millionaire. We're going to open veterinary clinics with my husband. Forget it. I'm not doing MLM. Yeah, have a good job. So in 2012, I get divorced, and I have the second chance because my sister sends me product and says, at least try the product. I get better from a whole bunch of things that I had, and I still did not commit. I meet Dave, didn't even know who Dave was, but started kind of getting the feel of what was happening. And so again, that's 2012. So we're talking 11 years ago. 2016, I officially signed up with my name for the first time. And so we're still talking, sign up, commit, build a team. I got my name, everything is on. But it is, and this is the thing, it's a journey. So now it's 2023. I go to the For Life convention, get fired up again every time. But I hear these words from one of the goals that I went to Foundation for Life with, Martha Acero, who is in Bermuda's line, and they're very committed into believing. And so I believe that word really hit my heart and she is starting to work with me. She wants to personally help me in something that I want to give as a message today. So, and I'm just gonna put a parentheses. And so why I committed in 2012 and 2016 was because I had an opportunity to double my income with my job, but it was going to take, out of the 365 days of the year, 150 out of the house. And I had to leave my baby, and I was a single mom. And I said, that's just crazy. It was, I quit the job, and because I had to quit the job because it was an MLM company. And I committed to For Life. And that's, Dave knows this. That's when I said, Dave, I'm committing to For Life. I don't care if I have to drive Uber, clean houses. I'm never going to have a boss again. So going back to 2023, and this is the message, I'm now like never leaving For Life. Everybody that knows me knows that. I'm like, Dave, there's no other company out there. I'm already 50. I got an 11-year-old. I have no chance anymore to jump into any pool. No, like Dave always, he knows. I'm like, I'm here for life, real for life. But the thing and the word that I want to give you guys was something that was told to me in a bus in Bogota as we're riding from Foundation. And she said to me, one of the reasons that you're still not getting to your next title is because you do not believe that this is God's gift to you for prosperity. And Bermuda's team strongly believes this, and they hit 200 titles. I don't know if you know this, that Ruth Bermudez is Ruth Gold Elite. And so for the convention, they planned it for 6 months, and they hit 200 new titles, just crazy amount of people. But again, I want you to listen to this, because if somebody's heart is today in this, if you have not reached title, it doesn't matter how many years you've been in For Life. This is where we get stuck. We're like, oh, I don't reach the next title. I don't reach the next level. What's going on? And we go on and on. But I do want to leave that word in there today, which, listen, my sister never gave up. And my sister is completely another woman today. Since October, she's transformed. She's done her first event ever. You guys can't even imagine. She did her first reel yesterday. And she planted Canada in her heart in 2007 without even speaking English. And now she has like this sister who's so fired up and so in love, who, does just everything to make this happen. And so if you're still thinking that you're not here for a reason, you're not believing that For Life is your answer, that God sent you for your prosperity. And so that's the message I want to leave out there. It was a message given to me, but I just want to share it tonight. So Dave, thank you for planting, because if it weren't for you, I wouldn't be here. My sister wouldn't have planted in 2000 and 7. My goodness, it's just such a cool story. So yeah, Omar, you're next. And we're out of time, but what I want to do is if Dave wants to go on to, his next step and everybody wants to share, we don't want to close the room if you feel like sharing, because I saw Marisa bring her hand down. So don't worry, Marisa. Let's get Omar and Manuel.
Awesome,
Omar.
awesome. Wow, Claudia, thank you for that. Thank you. That was powerful, and I love that. And Dave, thank you so much for opening the mics also for us to kind of like bring it out and express it. I'm going to touch a little bit on my why. And at the end, I want to touch a little bit on your analogy of the baseball bat. I think it's important. But first, I also want to direct a little, maybe 5 words to Evilise. And that's, if you go back and get that recording, make sure you kind of like embed in you each word you said. They were powerful. And that's your story right there. The first thing we need to know and understand in order to change is acknowledge that we need to change. But one thing we need to change is the way we speak about ourselves. And that, I'm telling it from my perspective, because I come from a place where I felt unworthy of success. I felt unworthy of being, accepted. I felt unqualified, completely unqualified to be somebody who can inspire others or anything. I was a high school dropout. I didn't have, the titles, the accolades, or nothing like that. But when I saw this opportunity, I was in a really dark place in my life, my personal life. My kids were sleeping on the floor. We had, been infected with bed bugs and all that. So I needed a way to I need to make money now. I was working 2 jobs. They weren't making ends meet. And I know that Dave uses a lot these 2 words. You're either joined by inspiration or desperation. I was in both. I was inspired by the leadership. At that moment, maybe like 10 years ago, I was, although I didn't finish high school, I was always curious about technology and science, a little bit like that. And the words nanotechnology were very sophisticated stuff that were happening, and the company was already working with that. So it caught my attention. They were ahead of the science. It caught my attention to the leadership, but it also caught my attention that this might be just what I need to kind of fix my life financially, personally, and become a person of inspiration to others. That I was an outcast. I was that person who, will never measure to anything. I was in the corner, in the bleachers with the dudes out there doing things that we didn't have to do. So I wasn't that guy who anybody expected I would be on a Tuesday night speaking to amazing people and successful people from all over the world. And here I am sharing a little bit of me because somebody believed in me. They planted that seed that Claudia said. They believed in me. I got on here Rosana Hall, the doctora, who has believed in me. Claudia has pushed always, and you guys inspire me, believe it or not. Sonia, who's on here. Sometimes I didn't even believe I can bring anything. But when you start surrounding yourself with the right people, I saw that venue, that this is the vehicle that God brought to my life so I can fix my financial life, but also I can become that leader that no one thought I would be and be able to build that legacy for my kids, my grandson now, and leave them set. So when I'm no longer here, they can know that Grandpa did his job.
Nice. Many times the things we do, we think about other people in our lives. We want to leave a positive legacy or impact. And that was a motivating factor for me as well, Omar. And I know it is for Claudia. She looks at Mateo, her son, wants to build a solid business, for her prosperity, for her future. So absolutely. Awesome.
And before we continue, I know I mentioned about the baseball analogy real quick. And this is for all the leaders on here tonight, because we are evolving as leaders, as people, as ourselves. People, and I heard this from Ray Hagan. He said, people do not get turned off by network marketing. They get turned off by network marketers. So if you use that baseball analogy, trying to bank people into, no. Just be different. Just be different, like the company slogan, doing life differently. We are different. And this is why we are on the spotlight. The world is looking at us right now. I just want to put that there.
Absolutely. Thank you. Manuel, Oh, go ahead.
All
and-
right.
There you are.
Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Great. Thank you. Thank you. I'm gonna try to make it quick. Yeah, just like I don't know, Claudia. But anyway, very quickly, about 4.5 years ago, we came into the company because of we were looking for something more nutritious and health reasons, because once we heard the information, we basically said this is a win-win. If we don't earn money or make money, we gain a better health. But anyway, 2 months after we had joined back in probably the summer of 18, I ended up in the hospital. One of the reasons, Dave, I identify with you and I empathize, because we went basically through the same trouble, the same roller coaster. And this last 6-8 months has been totally the opposite. Anyway, September 8th, about 9:30, my lights went out. Everything I just blocked out, fell, and I had no more. I was not aware of what happened. When I woke up, I came back. It was 2 weeks were gone, and I was intubated. Thank God. And again, I'm not preaching, but God is the one, not me, who brought me back. Once that happened, I started to recover. My wife was so smart enough. I mean, if it hadn't been because of her and the knowledge that she has gained, I wouldn't be here talking to you all. She started giving me the supplements in spite of the doctors, cardiologists, and all those people advising just for me to take whatever they give me. But she was feeding me the transfer factor, the ones with the blue lid. The plus, and the doctors were saying that I wasn't going to be walking out of there. I had a massive heart attack with 7 strokes. So the doctor were saying he's not going to walk out of here. He's start making arrangements, funeral or whatever you need to do. My wife, bottom line, says you are not God, and God is the one is going to make the decision. So she went that route, and on the very last day of those 2 weeks that I was intubated, the very last day he brought me back. I started breathing on my own. Nice. So, like I said, through recovery, she was feeding me the supplements, and including the KBU. I don't think cardio was still out, but anyway, the doctors were saying that you're going to be out here in 10-12 weeks, give or take. By the grace of God, God proved them wrong. I walked out of the hospital in 2 weeks after I came back. I used a walker. I was doing dialysis. 2 or 3 weeks after that, they took the dialysis off. And from that point on, I started to recover. I continued with a cardiologist. What do you call the kidney doctor?
Dialysis?
Nephrologist?
Nephrologist. Thank you. Yeah, I had that, and now besides my PCP, I started to recover. I was seeing the nephrologist, and he was kind of surprised noticing, that my kidneys and everything was coming back to normal. I'm not fully recovered. I'm not back to what I used. I can't do what I used to do. I'm a former Marine. I'm a former military. I was used to exercise. I was pounding. I was, working out. But that day, my lights went out. God brought me back, and by His own grace, I am here talking to you. So the supplements, I have faith in the supplements, and right now I kind of retired but didn't. but because of what we believe in the supplements, that's what's driving me out there to make people aware that this supplements, like Dave said, this is our company, and what better captain than the couple that has this company. I'm not stepping back. I'm just gonna pick up momentum and keep the momentum going, and talk to as many people as I can. Thank you.
Nice. That's it, Manuel. You know, again, we all have a driving force. You have your personal experience, and that story needs to be told. Every one of us, you know, has a story to tell. And that's what we need to do. We get paid actually to get out and tell our stories, you know, share with people. And that's all this is. That's what all this is, really. I mean, if you think about it, at the end of the day, it's pretty simple. But a lot of people have fear, you know, fear that someone's going to reject them, or, you know, fear that, you know, maybe they say the wrong thing. Don't worry about that. You know, I mean, if you saw the fear I had, I'm an introvert, you guys, believe it or not. I had to learn to put on my business attire to do this business. But when I looked at other people that were doing it back in the 80s, I just said, if they can do it, I can do it. So let's all get out, share our stories. All right. And there's a lot of people out there waiting, just waiting to hear about For Life. Get them using the products, bring them into the family. And then those that want to continue passing it on, building and serving others, that's what they'll do. Everyone has their time. So thanks, you guys. We've been an hour, over an hour, actually. Wow. So thank you very much for allowing me to present tonight. Omar, thanks for, you know, co-hosting with me here tonight. I enjoy these kind of quaint, intimate, you know, meetings as well. It's they're fun. So with that, Claudia, I'll pass it back to you, and we can go ahead and finish up. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everybody. Don't forget, tomorrow is Business Opportunity Night. That's the only announcement I have, Omar. I don't have the flyer ready, but make sure that you check the official For Life WhatsApp group if you're not there yet. And I think all of you are, but if you're not, let us know, let Omar or me know, and we can add you to that. So make sure that Wednesdays is your business opportunity. Tuesdays is training, Wednesdays is business opportunity. That really is where we want to focus. Bring your people in, believe that this opportunity is for you. We have so much more to share. So Omar, anything else?
That'll be it. Tomorrow, I'll be having the honor to present. We're going to be on there tomorrow. You're going to be hosting, and we're going to have a powerful testimony you guys don't want to miss out. So bring in your neighbors, your cats, dogs, everybody out there, you know, and everybody who's probably connected on anything on the news, get them off there so they can come and live and stop being so scared. And don't forget that pretty soon drops out there the new, what is it? Meet My Friend Dave, Dave's book.
My friend Dave.
My friend Dave.
My friend Dave. So keep
Okay.
that in mind, because that's going to be a powerful, and be aware, because pretty soon I'm going to be doing a Facebook Live with Dave. He didn't even know it, but I just told him right now. We're going to be talking about that launch too.
Nice.
Have an amazing one. God bless you all.
Okay,
Thank you,
everybody, please unmute to say bye to Dave. And
Thanks,
Omar.
everyone. Have a great night. All right. Keep going. Keep growing. All right.
Thank you.
Thank
Dave.
you.
Thank you.
Bye.